Israel under Obama.
One of the first questions I have about Obama is why there's such mystery surrounding everything about him. It's not a question of whether we are birthers or not birthers. That somebody should create such a situation in which nothing is known about him. So when somebody innocently asks the question, should be branded as a birther or some sort of conspiratorial fanatic, it's to turn the truth on its head. This is a problem that he created himself. He created an entire mystery around him, which definitely leads to people to question, why shouldn't people know something about him? The second problem about Obama is that his religious affiliation is not clear. He speaks as a Christian, but we know that his allegiance to Christianity was very minor, and it was only on the basis of Reverend Wright's church, where Christianity is a vehicle for some sort of anti-Americanism. The real sense of religion doesn't exist in this man. On the other hand, he speaks about the Quran with such respect, his Muslim heritage with such devotion, that one raises the question, what religion is he? And by the way, the other day he confounded the world even more by saying he knows more about Judaism than any other American president. So maybe we should, in a funny way, but it's very sad to see a man who really apparently has no allegiance to any religion, and yet he claims to respect all of them.
With a man who attended services in a church where his mentor and minister, first of all, said, not God bless America, but God damn America. A man who accused the America, and after 9/11, who said, America, your chickens have come home to roost. In the face of 3,000 innocent Americans leaping out of windows to save their lives. That's who 80% of the American Jews voted for. By the way, the Black Liberation Theology Church to which he belongs also, and his mentor of 20 years, Reverend Wright, has declared that Israel itself is an apartheid state, and that it is breaking all the rules of decent human relations. That is the background from which the president comes.
Do you suppose through Reverend Wright's connections with an affinity with Louis Farrakhan, that he may have assimilated some attitudes about Palestine that will influence President Obama's actions towards Israel?
Absolutely not. I totally don't see that at any way, shape, form, or fashion, where Jeremiah Wright or Louis Farrakhan influencing the thinking of President Obama in any way, shape, form, or fashion with respect to how he has structured and views his approach to looking at the lenses of the world of the Palestinian people and the State of Israel, nor his dedication to the State of Israel and the Jewish people.
I can only remind you of what happened in Germany when the Jews pretended not to see what was happening to their country, and allowed themselves and of course Jews throughout Europe to be slaughtered. So it's a warning. It's a warning that I warn you as an American Jew. I warn you that if you do not awaken to the politics of this country and where the world is heading, and of the tremendous threat that Israel lives under, worse than ever before. If you do not awaken to this situation, and if you continue to vote that way, and if you continue to give money that way, you are not only going to destroy the greatest nation in the history of the world, the United States, but you are also going to destroy your 6 million brethren in Israel. Not to mention what you may bring upon all of us here.
Your
protest then against the Jews who are supporting President Obama?
Yeah, that's primarily what we're here today for. I'm here in solidarity with the settlers on the West Bank and the Yehud and Shomron who are on the chopping block as we speak. Obama's every waking moment that he is trying to ram a two-state solution down the throats of the Jewish people, and the Hollywood Jews that are gathered there know this and support this and are helping him to do it with their funds and their support and their supposed leadership of the Jewish community, because they claim to be the leaders because of their wealth and prominence, and they deserve only our condemnation and our derision for their stand.
There it is. Wow, there he is. He was second call back. Yeah. Yeah, he was in the second car. All right.
I believe that there is something wrong when an American, Jew or not Jew, does not consider the defense of a state like Israel to be a primary aspect. When America is on the side of Islamic Brotherhood and not on the side of Israel, when America is not clearly against Hezbollah and Iran, instead of being squarely on the side of Israel, there's something wrong with America, and there's something wrong with America's defense of the West. Ultimately, if the West is to survive, Israel's struggle has to be recognized as the beginning of the struggle of the West against the Islamic invasion, both ideological and physical.
His agenda has been to neuter America's power, and I'm very worried about it. And as a Jew, I'm even more worried. I think he has the Muslim agenda rather than a Jewish agenda or a democratic agenda or an American agenda.
What advice would you have for Jewish Americans or Christian Americans who are concerned about the survival of a free Middle East?
Don't vote for Obama for a second term, because you got to remember what he says now while he's campaigning is one thing. But if he's given the mandate and if he is enabled to have a second term, Gewalt, there'll be no stopping him.
It needs to be done, and certainly this administration has been very detrimental to Israel. And we must acknowledge that, and we must make sure that this does not happen, and that America's status in the world is reconstituted so that people can have once again trust in America and hope for the world situation. So anyway, there's a lot at stake in this election. We must all go out and make sure that there is a President Romney on November 4th.
Israel under